how best we can go into an early Congress. The early Congress we are looking at is next year, 2018. The other thing in line with the early Congress that the Standing Committee realized is the decoupling of the flag bearer election from that of the National Executive election. The Standing Committee realized that anytime we go into a Congress and we elect these two group of people, the flag bearer and the National Executives, automatically attention is shifted onto the flag bearer, and the National Executives do not get that enough space to organize the party.
So you think that decoupling is best for your party?
So we think that decoupling is best for us. And of course, we want to learn from best practices. As we speak now, there are two political parties that have had the opportunity to rule this country as far as this Fourth Republic is concerned, and that is the NDC and the MPP. These two political parties have one thing in common, that they always go in to elect their national officers separately from their flag bearer. And we thought that we can see some wisdom in it, and so we want to implement such a thing.
You've also said that your party is embarking on restructuring. The indication is that you're going to shift focus from whoever becomes the flag bearer to the grassroots or the flag, or the party.
The party, exactly.
Now, what I want to find out is that, do you not think that this will make whoever becomes a flag bearer insignificant or irrelevant in the scheme of things?
What we think is going to happen is that the party is going to be so strong that it doesn't really matter who becomes the flag bearer. As long as the party is strong, the party will make a significant impact. And we don't want to build a party around an individual. And that is the vision of our current leader, Dr. Edward Mahama, that at any given point in time, the party should be stronger and bigger than any individual. And that's exactly what we want to do. The Standing Committee thinks that if we are able to put the right structures in place, tomorrow, if Emmanuel Wilson is not there as a director of communication, who becomes the director of communication, or whoever becomes the director of communications, because the structure is there, it will be able to push the person to function as we expect the person to function. In all instances, structures matters very well. If you have the strongest of person, but the person is not operating on a strong structure, the person's mind might not be felt that much. And so the PNC thinks that the first thing for us to do is to strengthen the party. Just like I keep saying, if we make the party stronger, automatically whoever is involved in the party will end up making the person stronger.
Anytime I speak to PNC, I make references to the split incremental positions and the fact that ultimately your lots are better if you put them together with the CPP. Is this also part of the restructuring you're considering?
Looking at the decision of Standing Committee, just like you mentioned rightly, there was a 3-member committee that was constituted. Myself, Emmanuel Wilson, who is the chairman, Honorable David Apasera, and the acting general secretary, Mr. Jacob Amwako. One of the things that the committee is supposed to do, we are one to develop an action plan, and the action plan is to serve as a guide for the party from now into 2020 election. That is, if our plan is submitted to Standing Committee, sent to National Executive Committee, and it is accepted and approved, it becomes a guiding principle for the party between now and 2020. One of the things that is expected in the action plan is we finding out the possibilities of going into a unity with the CPP. And I'm stretching on the CPP because that is the mandate the last Congress gave us, that we should explore the possibility of going into a unity of any sort with the CPP. Congress did not mention that we can do it with any other party. So we are concentrating on CPP. Now, the action plan is to advise Standing Committee and the National Executive Committee, one, if it is possible, because you are aware that we've been talking about this over and over and over and over, and at the end of the day, we end up failing each other. So we want to find out if it is possible. If it is possible, the action plan should tell the whole party, the National Executive, and the Standing, how to go about it. If it is also not possible, then the action plan should advise the party how best we can go into 2020 as an independent, that is PNC political party, and how best we can maximize our fortune. The other thing that is expected in the action plan has to do with how best we can, or the strategy we can use to win as many constituencies as possible. The party has realized that, and history teaches us so, particularly in this Fourth Republic, that largely the party that ends up forming the government, one thing that influences the party to win is the representation the party has in parliament. And so the People's National Convention, we are concentrating and focusing our minds on how best we can have our significance or our presence felt so much in the parliamentary.
But talking about your presence and all of these efforts you're putting in place, the party has been back and forth in the news recently with the suspension of the General Secretary, and now your national chairman, Bernard Mona, presented a vehicle to the party's campaign and wants it back, but the party is making it difficult for him to get the car back. Why is this so?
Steve, this is really an unfortunate thing. It was also one of the things that was deliberated on at the meeting. You see, this issue has gone to the extent of the national chairman reporting it to the Kotobabi police that he has a car missing, his car is missing, and then the police should assist him to find the car, particularly when he knows exactly where he handed the car over. So when we had the meeting, we afforded the two gentlemen the opportunity to give us the facts of it so that standing committee will make a final determination. Dr. Edward Mahama, per the facts that he gave, said that prior to the 2016 election, the chairman came to him and gave him a pickup. And when he gave him the pickup, the chairman told him that the pickup is for the use of the party, you know. And as we speak now, the pickup is actually branded in the party's colors, and the party has been using it. And so Doctor said he insisted, asking him where it is coming from. And the chairman said that this is coming from a friend of him, the chairman, who sympathizes with the party and thinks that he can support or he should support the party. And the doctor went further to insist who exactly it was. And according to Doctor, per the report he gave us at the standing committee, the chairman just said that, well, as we know, political parties, there are some individuals whose name they don't want to mention, and that we all understand. So Doctor did not push it further. Only for about a month or so to hear the chairman on radio going to the extent of reporting it to the police that his vehicle is missing. And you know the strange thing. The strange thing is that I have cited a soft copy of the document of the vehicle, registered in the name of the chairman, you know. And so I am quite amazed because if you know how political parties operate, most often if you want to give something to the political party, you want to look at the executives and give it to. You don't assemble all the executives and give it. You give it to the person in the capacity as the leader, or in the capacity as the chairman, in the capacity as the general secretary, or what have you. And so if I am a chairman, and Steve, you decide to support the PNC, and because I'm the chairman, you want to channel it through me, and I get whatever resource I need to get from you, and I decide to register it in my name and not in the name of the party, I don't think that is how the party is supposed to operate. And you
expected the vehicle to be registered in the name
because
of the party?
Because over the past,
but he presented
that is over the past.
The vehicle.
Over the past years, since
that has been the convention.
That has been the convention. When Alhaji Ramadan was the chairman of the party, any resource that comes to the party, especially that needs to be registered, it is registered in the name of the party.
I see.
Even motorbikes that have passed through Dr. Mohammed's hand, you know, he came and presented copies of registration documents. So that if today, you remember 2012 when we went into the election, Dr. Mahama did not win. It was Ayariga who won. And yet, prior to 2012, vehicles, motorbikes, and everything that was being used in the party, after Dr. leaving, they were still available. You know. And you know the strange thing, when Dr. finished presenting his case, and then we requested the chairman to also give his side of the story. Because standing committee said that they wanted the chairman to specifically tell them that it is not for the party, the vehicle is not for the party, but it is for him. If it is for him, standing committee indicated that they were willing to hand it over. But unfortunately and strangely, the chairman decided not to make any comment on it. And so what standing committee did in its wisdom was that they referred the matter to the Council of Elders to go into it. And then at the next standing committee, hopefully it's going to be in November, the Council of Elders should report back to the standing committee based on their findings. Based on the findings they report, the standing committee will make a determination.
Right, Mr. Wilson, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much. We're grateful for your time. I'm Stephen Antia, and that's Mr. Emmanuel Wilson Jr., the Communications Director of the PNC. We have more news for you. Please don't go away.